Hey everybody, welcome back to Grumpy Acres. It's time for a Tuesday Night Live. I was actually doing a little bit of behind the scenes working on the channel. Let's see who all's in chat. We've got Starla came in, then the Terminator. Tamber from Texas is here. Jane, good evening, Jane. Len, my man, how you doing? Hope everybody's having a good week. If you are in the middle of the country, I hope that you are surviving this bitter cold.
Not just the middle of the country, isn't it clear out to the East Coast?
Yeah. Yeah, but those are Bills fans out there. We don't really care about them. No, seriously, I hope everybody's staying warm and surviving here. It's been, for the most part, it's been okay. We lost 4 birds over the last 2 or 3 days. Two of them were from pecking, and 2 of them were from freezing to death. We lost 2.
Well, they got pecked, which probably means they were weak from something.
We lost 2 ducks and 2 chickens. But other than that, everybody seems to be doing fine. Today was a rough day, though. It was cold. When I went out to feed the animals at 7 o'clock this morning, it was -9, -11 when I went out to feed them at 7. And by 10 o'clock, it had warmed up to a balmy 4.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Lynn says the actual temperature up there where he lived was -18.
Yeah, it's not too far from us. It's like right on the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucy's keeping her butt by the wood stove. You know, I cut wood this weekend, and I'm glad I did. We really didn't need it, but it's been so cold the past couple of days that we're running through wood really quick. It's a chore to keep this house warm. We used primarily the wood stove. We got we got 3 or 4 small electric heaters that we use to supplement it during the day and at nighttime. But other than that, we just let things run its course. And I got up yesterday morning. It was 55 degrees in the house, which really isn't that bad.
Not bad.
That's not that bad. We have not had any frozen pipes this year like we did last year.
You better knock on wood fast.
No.
Yes.
We have not had any frozen pipes because of some things I did to make things more weather resistant.
Have we been -32 though either? I don't know. I'm not sure. Close.
We had wind chill. We had wind chill that was up there.
Okay.
But I sealed off the crawl space better and insulated it, and I insulated some pipes and put insulation in the back of the house. Now we have not had a week-long -10, -15 like we did last year, but so far we're not doing that bad. Let's see here. Tamara says she's been feeding the wood and feeding the animals. Yeah, that's basically. Well, I had to go to work today. It was kind of weird going to work. It's a rural community, and they shut down school whenever the temperature gets so low. Last year, I remember them shutting down when it was like -5.
Well, it's because the reason why they don't want to use up all the snow days yet.
Yeah, that's exactly why they went to school today.
Yeah, so they're with that blizzard, really, that was a week off.
Well, and it's all about money.
Yeah.
Lucy wants to know if you got worn out if they wore you out last night.
Oh, no, I had physical therapy today. So this is exactly why I said Thursday's going to be even more. So this is why I said it'll depend on when I'm in and when I'm not. And I took my Advil. I did all that stuff. I've been doing my exercises. I had physical therapy, and then I have to do my exercises in the morning and then in the evening. So when I got home, I did another batch of them, and it just wears on me. So
yep, first day of physical therapy today.
Yeah.
We had to share vehicles because the little loaner truck will not start in the cold.
I can't really talk about that, Tamara. We'll have to talk about that in person, but I don't even know how to answer that. Like I like the doctor. I really do like the doctor. So and I'm determined, and we're of course I want more than what he can promise. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah. So,
but it was a all in all it was a good week around here. We got wood cut. You did some baking. She actually we ran out of we didn't quite run out of white bread from the store. I said, hey, pick some up. She didn't get the message quick enough, and so she made potato bread. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday?
when
did you make the potato bread?
Yesterday.
She made some potato bread that's off the chart good. Seriously, it's a killer
And I was
recipe.
able to do it with all the dough hooks. I didn't have to worry about my shoulder or anything like that, my arms. So worked out really well. So now I'm ready to try another one. That one's going to be fun.
Tambra's been praying for you.
Thank you, Tambra.
Not to have surgery.
Yeah. I pray that too. But I have 2 doctors that aren't so sure. So we'll see.
And I'm not gonna lie, this weekend I cut wood and worked outside in the morning. I spent about 5 hours out there Saturday. Managed to make myself entirely covered in sweat. Everything was wet when I came in because I was working so hard. But I watched football this weekend. I admit it. I turned the TV on and I watched my Chiefs play, and then I watched the other games, and it was enjoyable. It was a nice rest.
But Tamer, I got one for you. It's not back surgery. It's in my neck.
But,
so,
and you, what'd you do this week?
Rested. Neighbor got me out of the house, and I got some people time, and we didn't do a lot. We went slow. Of course, she's pregnant and that kind of thing, and so we went slow, and it was good. It was just good to get some human contact.
Tell them what you said about the trip to Sam's Club. About how you were shocked.
Oh, the prices and stuff? Oh, yeah, no. I've been seeing it, but I don't know what it is. Like in the last week, it just seems like things have doubled and just insane. A dozen eggs are like $5-6 a dozen. Heard in some places they're as much as $10 a dozen. And then milk. You got the milk. How much was the milk? $8?
No, it was only three something.
Really? Okay, that shocks me. And then because that with the cold weather, when there's no grass, there ain't no raw milk. And so there's no cream anyway, but some are drying up because the weather, it's just one of those things. So so we're there, and I don't know. Just
and we're working on a barter. We're working on a barter for milk to get us through the winter.
Well, we've got it. Somebody needs to go over and get it. I can't lift them, and so somebody, they either need to bring them over here, or you need to go get them. So
Jane says no eggs at the grocery store here today.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me, not just that, but what else has been flying off the shelves around here, and I think it's so weird. Diet Coke.
Oh yeah.
Weird, and it's been going on for weeks.
I had to run into town to get feed, which is killing us. This not having a vehicle is killing us, but we'll get there. We'll get it taken care of eventually. Hey Randy, Skane's popped in too.
Good. Hey Skanes.
But I went to Walmart, and she loves her Diet Coke. It's poison to her, but she loves it anyway. And
it's the small things. No human contact. Gotta have your Diet Coke.
And the entire soda shelf was stocked completely full, except for the Diet Coke 2 liters and the Diet Coke cases.
They did have 2 liters today. I got 2.
They did have 2 liters today.
If I had more oomph in me, because it was after my physical therapy, so if I had more oomph in me, I would have got more. But God, I don't know why they put them on the very top. And 5.2 and trying to get those things off the top shelf.
Because they want people buying the expensive stuff that's on the bottom. It's closer.
It's craziness.
Tamara loves her Sprite Zero.
Yeah.
But and that's one of those things to think about going forward. Okay, everybody's hyped because Trump is in office, but you guys need to understand that the economy is going to slide downwards. The numbers have been cooked for so long that when a true accounting takes place and they stop hiding stuff, it's going to become very obvious that the economy is in decline right now.
Well, the nice part is I think Trump is business savvy, and I think that he knows what to do, and he's been honest about it. He said it's going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think he's going to relieve some of the pain before it gets completely horrible.
Well, it took Reagan 3 years to come out of the Carter recession.
Mm-hmm.
So it took 3 years, and this one's worse.
Yeah.
So we need to prepare for that. And the reason I say that is because the Diet Coke thing for her is a good example. If there's something that you need or want, you need to have money available.
Oh.
And if you see it, you need to buy it when you can, because you may not be able to get it again. And I'm not talking about just sodas or anything like that. I'm talking about
chocolate is getting insane.
Any commodities and perishable stuff that you can think of that you might need, buy it while you can now. Here's the good news. It's a double-edged sword. A recession and a depression is a double-edged sword. If you've got that money on hand and you're looking for materials, people are going to be selling stuff. All right. Have that money on hand so you can buy that stuff at an inexpensive price. It's just, and you know, it used to feel like taking advantage of other people's misfortune, but it's not. It's they need something, and you have the money to buy that, and you're helping them out.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh, speaking of that, we had a deal going on a truck, was ready for that and doing all that, and we wanted to we didn't want to take it out of anything or lose anything on one end, and so we were waiting for the insurance check. Hasn't come. The title got lost, so
and it's my fault. I readily admit it.
Yeah, well, kind of, but no, like it should have worked out better. So I'm kind of thinking it's God's timing. So the label, and I can see it. The label was supposed to be UPS, and he was thinking USPS. So he dropped it in the mailbox slot to go out. And protocol normally would be when that goes through, that post office sees it and they'll get it over into possession of who's supposed to have it. So we're out from January 2nd, and UPS does not have it in their possession. So we're like, ugh. And I called today. Jennifer is just so sweet. And I'm like, could you go check the box? Could you go look around? And she's like, girl, that thing is long gone. It's probably sitting in Kansas City somewhere. And because the mail from the storms has been so backed up, they don't even know when they can get to it. So I don't know. Insurance company is probably going to be getting 2 titles in the next month or 2.
Well, no, what we'll do is when we get the new title, we'll have them cancel the UPS label that they printed. That way when they go to scan it, it won't go into their system.
I would almost prefer that they go ahead and they the insurance company takes possession of it solely for security reasons, because then you have a duplicate title out there. Because as well as I do, they're going to sell that stuff to me.
If I get it, I'm going to destroy that title.
If you get it back, but usually they try to move. The way I understood it, they try to move it forward to UPS.
They'll give it to UPS, and UPS will try to scan it, and they won't be able to, so they can't accept it in their system.
I wouldn't mess with that.
So
I don't want it just floating out there. I wouldn't. Please, I don't mess with that.
But anyway,
you will, Randy. You should have coffee already stored up. You should have coffee in 5-gallon buckets. You should have iced tea bags in 5-gallon buckets.
Better yet, you should have beans in buckets and a grinder so you can grind your own. That way it'll last longer.
Yeah.
Or if you get if you get the freeze dried, that'll last quite a while, won't it?
That would be instant coffee. I wouldn't do that crap.
Of course, Randy, if you drink it fast enough, it's not going to sit there long enough to go bad. And you'll be rotating it. But that, you know what, you could always plant chicory. If you run out of coffee, you can plant chicory, or you can plant a Tennessee coffee tree, which is
they have mushroom coffee too, so you can just switch over to that.
Yeah.
And then there's all kinds of different.
Just don't mix it with the other with the magic mushrooms.
And then I don't know, that'd be a trip and a half, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would not be good with it. Yeah, I don't know. So, but that's it. I mean, sorry guys, I wish my life was more exciting right now, and it's just
Well,
not.
you worked on your cookbook some more, didn't you?
No, I didn't get that loaded in there. I need to. It's been so cold. It just hurts to even get out of bed. And because I have to get up, I have to get everything. And then what was normal to me that I could just run and do in 30 seconds, 1 minute, that kind of thing, takes me a long time now. And he was even concerned. He saw me the other day. And so, it's just one of those things. It just takes time.
And I'll be completely honest with you guys. If I did not have a 9 to 5 and this was like the homesteading was what we did full time, this last 3 or 4 days would be get up, take care of the animals, come inside, do what I could inside. If not, read a book, watch a little TV, go out, take care of them in the afternoon, and then take care of them in the evening. That would be it, because it's been cold. And today was the day it was like uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable.
Yeah, he told me that as we were walking out the door for my appointment, and I was like, hey, that doesn't make sense. And I was like it's warmer today than it has been, in a while, because I'm remembering the other ones. And then even when Amber and I went into town, and it hurt to breathe, and your face hurt from the weather and that kind of thing. And but I walked outside, and I just took a breath. It wasn't like a deep breath or anything like that. It was like I walked out and went to the vehicle, and I took that deep breath. I about choked on myself, on my breath. I mean, it was just terrible. And it was like, oh. And Garen was like, yeah, I told you. Because he offered me his scarf, and I was like, yeah, I won't need it, because I had my
well, and I was thinking about
healing on.
I did not put a cold weather kit in the vehicle yet, and I really need to.
Yeah,
I've been negligent on that. It was so cold this morning that I had my face covering on, because you don't want to be breathing in that cold air. Mm-hmm. And the moisture from my breath was coming up, and it was hitting my eyelashes and freezing my eyelashes together.
Rainey, I knew what you meant. You don't have to worry about that, and we would never ask you to give up what you got stored. So we don't even do it. And we try to help you guys, but we don't tell you what we got. Never will.
Lucy's niece gets coffee for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my godson's wife, she actually works for Starbucks. We'll see how much longer that's going to go. She gets really good benefits, and they get free coffee and that kind of thing. So there's like beans, and then when they clearance stuff out, she gets first dibs on that stuff. And yeah, it's kind of nice. Now, my god sister's been taking most of it, and her mom. So I haven't seen a lot of it in the last couple of years, but yeah, it was nice when she did bring that stuff in.
So she had to take the car today, so I came home at lunch. So when I found the second duck sickle, and we've lost those 2 ducks. Anyway, I'm taking care of the duck, and I let the animals out because the sun was out, and they needed to get some sunshine and stuff. And I look over into the hay pen where all the animals are eating, and there's this one sheep laying on its side, legs straight out, its head completely down. It wasn't moving. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh my gosh, lost a sheep. It's going to be frozen solid. I'm not going to be able to butcher it for another week and a half. And I go over there, and I got about 2 feet away from the fence, and I went, hey, and it popped its head up, and I was like, you turd, man. I hate it when they do that.
Hey, yeah, I see that you guys are having problems with autocorrect and that kind of thing. Don't worry about it. It happens to us too. And we know there's some things happening on the channel. There's also transitions happening in America right now for the free speech platform. And so little controls and quirks and things that need to be pulled out of the system to control to censor what you're saying, not control, to sense. Well, I guess it is one and the other. So, but to censor, it's going to take a little bit to get those things out. So they have to be caught, they have to be reported and that kind of thing in order to mandate it for them to take them out. So we get it. A lot of YouTubers get it, and we understand, and we can read between the lines. So I knew what you meant. Don't you worry about it. I know you're not all of you are drunk behind the screen. If you are, we have to figure out our clientele maybe. I don't know. But no, we know you guys are good on the other side.
Okay, so we've oh, here we go. I never liked coffee. There's several dollars a day I don't spend. It's been over 10 years since I had any caffeine.
Well, the coffee is a good barter item.
Well, I can't say that I haven't had caffeine. I can say that I
You don't like
do not like coffee. And you would think spending 10 years in the Marine Corps that I would have at least been able to get to where I could palate it. Cannot stand the taste of coffee. Never have.
Except for when I cook with it. When I cook with it, he's all about it.
Well, it's because it's not overpowering. That you've done a couple of those goulashes had way too much coffee grind in.
They're all the same.
But yeah,
they're all the same. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not going out of my way to eat them.
No.
But yeah, that's why I was so when you go out to the rifle range in the Marine Corps and it's cold, they bring out the big silver containers full of hot liquid.
Mm-hmm.
They're called silver bullets, and they had one with coffee and one with chicken broth in it, and I was always drinking that chicken broth.
Yeah, sorry. Like, have you seen the 866 number to report illegal aliens? No, and but I can't imagine that number is not like. Do they have enough agents to answer those phone calls? Because I just in Kansas alone, I nobody would sleep. That'd be a 24-hour position, I think. So, yeah, we were even talking about what factories and that kind of thing were going to be slated to go first. They're actually talking states, and it won't be too long till they're in this neck of the woods.
Well, they're going and deporting all these people. There's been a lot self-deporting over the last month, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If they want to fix illegal immigration, yes, deporting people and securing the border is primary to making that work. But what also is primary is they need to start holding these business people accountable. These people that knowingly hire them need to be fined and or put in jail if they're knowingly breaking the law.
They should be fined. In some states, they are fined. I'm not sure if that's a federal thing or a state thing, but usually they are fined. The problem is these corporations are so big, they don't care. And so, because they'll just make your chicken $9 a pound versus $2.98 a pound. You know what I mean?
Skeens is losing
her keys aren't working. I wonder if her computer got hacked.
I don't know. Try rebooting it, Skeens, and see if that helps.
Reboot it and then come back in and see.
But it's gonna take time. I guess they started doing raids today at different locations, getting people that were public safety menaces is who they're focusing on now.
She said it was fine until just now. Then why were you complaining?
Okay, Starla wants to know, does anyone know where the supposed heat up from supposed climate change went? I mean, snow in Houston, Pensacola, Houston, Galveston, and Corpus Christi.
So
thank God for global warming, Starla. Imagine if it weren't for global warming, how much snow there would actually be there all the time.
Oh, was that sarcasm?
A little bit.
So Linda actually sent me a news report, and I was reading that article while I was waiting to go in. And I knew, and I've always said, the Earth is moving. So the center North Pole the magnetic North Pole is changing. And so a news article came out. It absolutely is. And
it's always changing.
It's always changing, but it shifted, and it's aiming now more towards Siberia. And they're actually having to do updates for ships and airplanes to get that accountability correct and get that done. So that's what all that stuff is about. But yes, that is happening.
And Starla's comment points out something really important. The phrase climate change. You guys are all old enough. Do you remember when all this craziness started? In fact, if you're as old as I am, you remember being in grade school and the big scare was the coming ice age. I still remember it from grade school.
Dang, Misty got 6 inches of snow.
But they had to change the vernacular because the global cooling went away, and then it became global warming. But then that was shown to be a hoax, and then they changed it to climate change. With climate change, anything that happens, anything that we call weather that happens, they can blame it on climate change because the climate's changing, and here's the deal. There's two arguments on the whole climate change thing. The first is the people that insist that the climate's changing and that we're all going to die. The oceans are going to flood, which is why all the millionaire liberals go out and buy oceanfront property. Anyway, but they believe that, and their solution to the problem is more government. Government will fix the problem, and taxation and taking people's freedoms away.
Hey.
And the other side takes a more conservationist approach, understanding that the climate does change and it's part of nature, and we need to
we are the stewards of the land.
We are the stewards of the land, and it doesn't take the government to tax us and take away our freedoms in order for us to manage it.
But hey, in some ways, government can work on your side, and an executive order was signed yesterday publicly, so we actually got to see it. That was phenomenal. And we are out of the Green Deal. The
Paris Climate Accords.
Yep, done.
The Chinese are building over 100 coal power plants a year. India is one of the largest polluters in the world, yet the Climate Accords punish the first world countries that have industry that are some of the cleanest places on the planet. These type of tactics, and it's not just the climate change activism, it's all kinds of stuff. These kind of tactics only work if people feel guilt about it. And quite frankly, I don't feel guilty about it. And so it's not going to work on me. If your solution is to raise taxes or to take somebody's freedom away to fix this problem, then you're not my friend, and you're not somebody that's on my side.
All right. Did we drop out of WHO? I thought that they were waiting for Kennedy's approval for that.
No, they didn't drop out. Who said that?
Starla. Yeah, WHO, I think they're waiting for. They need Kennedy for that.
Listen, you mentioned executive orders. Let's talk about this for just a minute. There's a couple of topics there. Number one, the executive orders from Biden. I saw a statistic.
She says, yes, we're out. I think that's an initiative. That's an executive initiative that's coming.
Biden.
So you're not wrong, but it's
Biden signed over 80. Well, okay, backtrack. Biden didn't sign any. Biden had no idea what he signed. I'm not even sure he signed it. They probably had an auto signature on it. But anyway, 8,500 plus pardons and stuff before he got out.
Who had that? Who did that? So Biden did that?
No, Trump did. Trump signed. He said that he started an initiative to fund $500 billion worth of AI.
Oh, so we are going to take AI over. Perfect.
But no, they're not taking it over. They're funding it. They're funding research on it. And we do not. Trust me, we do not want the government being in charge of it.
So what does that do, investing in it? What does that do for us?
It makes AI more accessible to people, and it makes it less inexpensive, and it makes it better.
Okay.
But
so like what we talked about, why we need to use it, and that kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. So these pardons that he put out, I put that community link, the community post yesterday about it. The key takeaways. Hey, Heiji.
Hi, G, we got your Christmas card. And so, yes, guys, this is how far backed up our mail is. And so we got your Christmas card. Thank you so much. She found us the Crimson Watermelon.
I saw that.
And I'm so super excited. Those will all be going in the ground this year. So super excited about that. Okay.
The key takeaways on the pardons. Remember this. Number one, the person has to accept it. Even if preemptive pardons are acceptable. The SCOTUS already ruled on that over 100 years ago. But the person has to accept it. And when they accept it, they accept the fact that they're guilty, and it strips all Fifth Amendment rights away from them. So if Trump's smart and the Republicans are smart, these people accept these pardons so that they don't go to jail. They bring them in front of Congress and tell us the truth. Tell us what happened, and you better be able to verify it, or you're going to get contempt of Congress, or what's the other one for lying under oath? But anyway, you're going to get this, and you're going to go to jail because it's completely separate from the pardons.
Oh, the perjury.
Perjury. That's
yeah. So what Randy says, Randy, you're so right. And this goes down to why, if you go back to the old ways, and this goes exactly why Native Americans, they would migrate, and because they knew the weather was coming and they needed to move a little bit. Now that everything's landlocked and everybody owns something and that kind of thing, there is no migration. And I mean, unless you're what do they call them, snowbird? Doesn't look like many people escaped that though this year. So especially if there were 6 inches of snow in South Louisiana, dang. And but yeah, so they would migrate, and that's how they were able to do it. So everybody knew where the buffalo would be, how the animals migrated, and they would migrate the same way. And so
there was a 3-year period in the, I want to say, the 1500s, and maybe a little bit too late. Anyway, there was a period there where they called it the year without a summer, and a volcano went off in the Southeast Asia area, like Indonesia area. And it's not Krakatoa. That was another one that caused the same type of problem. But the first one was worse. And they had snow in Britain in July that year because the amount of soot and stuff that was up in the atmosphere blocking the sun. So yeah, it's called nature. Wait till we see the video of the points south in Louisiana.
It's the furthest point south of Louisiana. She's down by New Orleans, I think.
But technically, she's south of New Orleans, if I remember correctly. Anyway,
Misty is south of New Orleans.
I think so,
possibly.
But yeah, getting back to the
whole. Can you get south of New Orleans?
Yes,
well, I guess
can.
if you just have to move over east or west to get south of New Orleans. Okay.
When Yellowstone goes off, we're all done. It's way overdue.
Don't tell Ian that. Whatever you do, Lynn, don't tell Ian. We already had to do a year of therapy over that.
We're not all dead. It's not going to kill everybody. It's not a planet killer. We might be in trouble.
Now, the only thing we had going for us is that we were in Missouri at the time. But hey, at least it's only a 2-hour escape. We'll figure it out.
All right, let's get back to what's going on in the country.
Karen, she can tell you that story about her son way later.
I already did.
Oh, did you? All right, so go back and you'll see it.
But let's get back to the executive orders and the pardons. Mm-hmm. So the pardons will take care of themselves as long as there's the political will to use them. To use what they make available. Okay, now the executive orders from Trump. Somebody explained this to me, and I thought the plan was brilliant. So he did all these executive orders, and it's kind of like a reversed Piven Cloward attack. Which, if you don't know what that is, there's the Cloward Pivens are a couple of leftist researchers that came up with the idea that, and you've seen this in action, even if you didn't know what it was called, where you flood the system with activism and actions, and you try to overwhelm the system, and you make it so the system fails because it cannot deal with everything all at the same time. And so what Trump has done, he's doing all these executive orders as fast as he can, and he's making it so that the left cannot attack them one at a time. If they try to focus on one, then a whole bunch of others get by them, and they can't try to derail them.
Oh, that makes sense. That's good thinking.
Yeah, and so and by the time they pick on one, they end up looking like idiots because these other ones have gone through. Now, here's something. You guys think about this. Tell me what you think about this in the chat. Do you guys find it interesting that everything that Trump proposes that seems to be good for the American people and good for the country as a whole,
you don't want it to go through,
his enemies are opposed to it? What does that say about the people that are opposing Trump? you know, and he's doing things that you cannot even argue with the fact that it's good for the good of the country and good for the American people, because we saw it in action during his first term.
You know what I thought was interesting? I popped in, so Miss Prepper friended me on Facebook, and so I went in to go accept her Facebook, and then it automatically takes you back to your homepage, and something came up in this feed. Like, first of all, I can't remember who this person is, and just hit me. Yes, I know who this person is. I definitely need to go unfriend her, and so I think I will do that because
I know.
B lady from B class.
Oh.
You do know. But yeah, so I just saw what she posted. And I think I'm gonna have to go unfriend her because I don't understand how somebody can be so freaking brainwashed on the liberal side, like on Biden, that all of America has made the worst decision in history, and we're all a-holes and all kinds of stupid because we voted for Trump.
Well, hold on a second. Before you say that, be aware that there are people on the right side that are the same way towards Trump.
No, I get not like this. Like, I'll show you the whole thing.
Yeah,
but,
Trump broke their minds. Absolutely.
I mean, there were people like literally. So I watched the inauguration and all of that, and then after we got off the live, I had the TV on. And there was a story, an interview that came in, and I'm sitting there watching this, and they're neighbors. So really cool that they could get along with each other. And or maybe it was during the inauguration day. I don't know. But anyway, so they do this interview with these two people. I may have to get up and get some more Advil. It's starting to, I think I overdid it. Anyway, yeah, so they were one is a Trump supporter, the other one was a Biden supporter. She was literally almost in tears, like total breakdown over.
Oh,
they were asking her, like, how are you getting through this? And are you okay? And she goes, yes, it's just a drinking day. And she had her alcohol next to her, and that's all she was getting through the day. And I'm like, dang, if that's the only way you can get through inauguration, I didn't get drunk and stay drunk all day during Biden's inauguration. And I just like, okay, now I need to keep prepping, keep stacking, and keep going and make sure I'm better today. You know,
Randy made a comment. Randy made a comment up there earlier. It said Trump learned a lot from his first.
Yeah, I did.
First term. I certainly hope he did. I certainly hope he did. My concern right now is that if you look at the people he's getting in key positions around him, they're Democrats. And I think I may have said this last week, but they're Democrats. All right. Hang on a second, guys.
What are you doing?
The cat's in the pot. Hey, get out.
Oh no. She's looking for food or something.
No, she just peanut butt.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're Democrats. And I don't have a problem with them being in key positions. In fact, Elise Stefanik, who's going to the UN as the ambassador, is a Democrat, and she flat out said that she's gonna attack the anti-Semitic rot that's infecting the UN, which I think is a good thing. But as long as these people stay in their lane, my fear is that they're going to have his ear, and they're going to influence decisions outside of their lane, because that's what leftists do. That's what liberals with the capital L do.
That's the Marxist agenda. So yeah.
They can't stay in their lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of bothers me. Okay, so you were talking about somebody melting down. Did you see the meltdowns that happened? Stop it. Did you guys see the meltdowns that happened whenever they shut TikTok down for a little while? Oh my guys. Yeah. Here, I'll look it up.
What is it? What is it? Oh, is that what she said? I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. She's a Republican.
What'd she do?
She's the one that's going to be the ambassador.
Oh, I see.
I
missed part of that story.
I saw that she was a Democrat. I stand corrected. Thank you, Starla. But man, these people melted down. There's nothing more pathetic than seeing a grown person crying and going, it's not fair, and going, this is how I make my money. I've got a $2,000 a month mortgage and a $2,000 a month car lease. How am I supposed to maintain this lifestyle? Well, number one, you're making there. Number one, you're making that type of money. You should have been saving it. You should have been saving it instead of getting a $2,000 mortgage and a $2,000 lease on a car.
Well, now, in all fairness, the $2,000 lease on a car is ridiculous. $2,000 mortgage, that was uncalled for.
They are jumping on me, and I've been telling them all day long to stop.
Then you put them outside.
But anyway.
But I don't even know where I was going. I can't remember. But
the lease.
Oh, yeah. The car is ridiculous. The mortgage is pretty much like that's a basic mortgage. It's $2,000.
Well, and what happens if you lose your job, guys?
$50,000 house.
Everybody in chat, what do you do whenever you lose your job?
You go get 3 more.
Yeah, you go get another job. You cut back.
Yeah. Can you move that little thing? Because I can't. You're not following them, and I can't read them because you got the little handy over there. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, because we know one is none. Yeah. I don't get too comfortable with that though, because one is none, but I don't think that's what's going on with that. I think keeping up with the Joneses never ended, and I think that's part of the problem.
Well, and the funny thing about,
and plus, what have we always said? So if you're talking about a $2,000 mortgage, and then you're talking about a $2,000 car payment, what have you and I always talked about? There are certain parts of a neighborhood that you can go around. People are either house poor or they're car poor.
Right.
One of the two. And so, that kind of reminds me of that.
Well, and what was really funny about it.
So they're probably living in Queens, New York, driving a Mercedes Benz.
What was really funny about it all was that these people went over to Red Note, and Red Note is a Chinese app that is literally an illegal clone of Instagram, and it's for the upper middle class in China use it. But these people went over there, and all of a sudden, all these people on from the Chinese side were like, hey, you keep your there's no gay marriage here. You keep your LGBT stuff quiet. You be gay all you want, but you just don't talk about it. And there's only 2 genders. And so don't come here and do this. And they're actually Chinese people telling these wokies or whatever you want, the TikTok refugees, not to bring their craziness into their Red Note app.
I'm kind of surprised. That sounds like freedom of speech to me and anti-communism. So I'm really surprised they're getting away with that.
Well, no. What
do you mean no?
The Chinese,
I'm surprised that
the Chinese Communist Party doesn't want these TikTok people on their app exposing their people to this type of stuff. The algorithms in China don't show the latest dance craze or let people talk about the government and stuff. In fact, the one video I saw about it, the guy was saying that the Chinese government is building new servers on this Red Note app that will isolate non-Chinese IP addresses. That way they'll get served all the content from their country, but it won't cross over onto the Chinese side. Multiple streams of income are essential. That's the only way it goes. Yep. Absolutely. And we have not been able to get that second stream of income going on a regular basis.
It's a coming. Gotta get fit.
Pause says, hit that like button, people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so that was, and then President Trump gave us a 90-day reprieve. Is that how long it's back? 70 days or something like that. So
for a reprieve
for TikTok.
Oh, I don't keep up with that. I don't have the app, so it doesn't affect me. So.
Well, it was in the news. It was. It came on.
I can't believe what the news says.
It was on my YouTube feed, and
You should have just looked it up and verified.
These people were reporting on it.
Oh.
The media, the media in YouTube is reporting on it, where the mainstream media will not report on this stuff.
Gotcha.
And it's really kind of funny because Red Note, the the actual Chinese name of the app is translated into Red Book.
Really?
And it's in honor of Mao's little Red Book indoctrination that all the Marxist revolutionaries read during the 60s and 70s.
Interesting.
You know, but it was funny. Go if you want a little bit of Schadenfreude, go watch the TikTok meltdowns whenever they shut it down. It's pretty hilarious. What?
No, I don't know. I don't understand people, but
Well, and that okay.
it's taken me at least a year to get people to stop sending me videos from TikTok.
Yeah. Well, and so Len brings up a good point. A lot of candidates, Trump included, use TikTok for their campaign. Now,
trying to get that was actually Barron's idea. That was his son's idea, and that was to gain the youth vote. Trump actually did talk about that in one of his speeches last night, and he was very forward about that. And that's what it was. He was following his son's cue on how to get the younger voters, and he did it.
And the thing is, these people that are upset about TikTok getting shut down were pointing fingers at the government and talking about how bad the government was for doing this and how it was shutting down free speech. Shutting down TikTok does not TikTok shutting down TikTok does not do anything against free speech. There's 10,000 other platforms you can go to
just as quickly as TikTok came up, something else will come up. Just as quickly as Instagram came up, something else will come up.
Cuck v. Farmer. Number 2, the government is not the reason why TikTok shut down. TikTok got shut down, and it's probably going to get shut down again.
Why don't you just quit calling it TikTok? Everybody knows what you're trying to say. What you're talking about.
It got shut down because the Chinese government refused to sell off the portion of it that was the national security concern, and so
because they knew they were spying on people.
The reason, exactly. You know, so if you ever run across somebody bad mouthing the government because of this, there's so many other reasons to badmouth the government. This isn't one of them. You need to set them straight and say it's because TikTok, the Chinese government would not allow it to be split off. That's all they had to do. Seriously.
The dog's tail, I already checked. They're laying together, yeah.
Okay, the dogs are just they're getting on my nerves. But Cuck v. Farmer says he's watching from the frozen People's Republic of Michigan.
Yeah.
What else we want to talk about?
I'm good. You just come up with anything, and then I'll just follow you on that. Or if anybody has a question, I'll try to answer. My comfort level is not great right now. So
get your pills.
Well, I mean, it's just Advil, and I took them. When was I doing those exercises? That was at 5. It's not even 8 o'clock yet, so I can't take
ruin your liver.
And so, but yeah, this is part of the problem. But so it just is. I'm going to be uncomfortable for a little bit, but I'm going to make sure that yeah. So Starly, you'll have to call me for that. You guys, I'm not trying to be rude, but there's some circumstances, and there's a lot of medical and a lot of stuff that's going on. There are things I cannot talk about on social media, and quite frankly, things are just private. So if you want to know, you need to text me, call me, email me, that kind of thing. Probably won't put it through email either if I don't know you. If I know you, you have my phone number. Feel free to call me, and I'll know who you are when I'm talking to you. But I can't. There's a lot, and I really don't want to air my laundry either. I think it's a security issue, especially, don't you think? Because there's people don't need to know how frail or not frail I am, and people don't need to know when I'm going to be out, when I'm not going to be out.
Right.
And so, yeah, don't set me up like that. I'm just not being rude. Feel free to text me. Feel free to call me. If you're programmed in my phone, that means I know you. So, now I'll update you, but I'm going to update you that way, not this way.
Cuck V, you're absolutely right. They're TikTok is not doing anything that the NSA isn't doing.
Mhm.
I made a comment that kind of upset some people in someplace else, but I made the comment that, you know, at least Trump's spying on us now, and it's not Biden. You
That's
know,
no joke.
you know, at least that's the case. You know, and
Yeah.
those are our spy agencies spying on us, and not the Chinese
Right.
communists. So we should be thankful.
Yeah, kind of back to normal. They just want to make sure you're not planning a terrorist attack on U.S. lands.
Well, yeah. See that people put these apps on there. Shein and Temu are probably two of the worst.
The Temu is?
Temu, the Temu app and the Shein app are probably.
I've never heard of Shein. I don't.
It's a clothing site we sell.
Oh, all the crap from China.
Yeah, all the crap from China. You know, people have no idea what's going on, and the bottom line is,
now Skanes loves Temu.
most people in this country have no idea that the stuff they see in their feed is not the product. They are the product. Yeah. The information that they glean off of you as an individual is way more profitable for them than anything that they sell. Period. Randy says that the cold makes his body hurt. You know, my hands are like that, but the rest of my body, I'm kind of getting over that. All that stuff's kind of going away. I hurt for a whole slew of other reasons, but the cold's not one of them anymore. My hip does hurt whenever the barometer changes. God, that makes me sound so country. Yeah, my hip hurts when it's gonna rain.
That's how we always know the rain's coming in. It used to be when we had Manfred, it would be Manfred and Grumpy. You hear them both moaning. We're like, oh, rain's coming in. But yeah, not anymore. Now it's just G, and he's always grumpy, and always moaning. So you never really know. Is it really the rain or just a bad day?
Stop. Keep your paws down.
See? Apparently we have rain coming
tomorrow. The dog is sitting here, and she pins her ears back, and Skanes can attest to this. She pins her ears back, and she looks like a little baby seal staring up at her. Her eyes get great big and just so sad. But she's got this bad habit of sitting next to you and taking her paw and pawing at you because she wants your attention. And oh gosh, it's irritating. It gets irritating.
Hey, HG.
Hey, what's HG got to say? Anyone looking through all the data gleaned about me could only say they're by the grace of God.
So I think anymore people will be spying on me and they just be like, this is boring.
You can always act as a good bad example. Let's see here. Yeah, Tamara says she can tell you whenever the
weather is going to come in. And I actually think it is like I was just joking. Like he's just irritated with the dogs. And today's news has been, I know, I knew it would, but he needs to know what's going on. It's weighing on his mind.
What's weighing on my mind?
What I told you, the conversation we had after I picked you up.
Oh,
because your demeanor changed after that. So I know it is. But you know, that stuff kind of happens, but we are supposed to get precipitation tomorrow. Aren't we supposed to get flurries and stuff like that?
Look at this. Cuck V says it was -2 for the low today and it got up to 1. Now it did get warmer than that.
Yeah, we were
colder. We were colder than you today. He's up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's colder here than it was up in Michigan. That's just not right.
So yeah, so Dad and Linda, they're Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And so they're up there, and my dad and Linda have been less snow than us and warmer than us. And like, my dad is like totally rubbing salt in the wound every time.
Cuck V says they got lake effect snow coming in.
Oh.
No, thank you.
No. Oh,
that's one thing. I'm done with the winter right now. Usually I can handle it, but this year I just man, I'm telling you, the snow was cool for about 4 hours, and then it was like, now I got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Starla says it's -3 early in the morning, 25 during the day, supposed to be 2 tonight. That's about how we are. right now.
I believe in like -8. This morning was -8 real temperature, -15 wind, right? Felt like that kind of thing. So
No, it's pretty close. It's pretty. It's if anybody has ever said it'll be a cold day and here's your day.
Here's your day. Yeah,
it's getting there.
Yeah, it's no joke. Okay, I gotta sit up a minute.
You what?
I may have to. I'm gonna sit up and see if that helps. If it doesn't, I'm gonna get up, maybe just walk around a little bit, and then I'll come back. Okay. So
let's see. Lynn says he grew up in Michigan and never got as cold for as long as it does here in Iowa.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but there's not as many communists in Iowa. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, but that's Celsius. So what is that? That's no, that can't be right. So that's not so T. That means it's below Celsius, right? Can't remember.
No, it's 34 degrees.
Oh, is she doing the United
Negative
States?
-34. So negative. I know this because I looked it up last night. -3 is -16 Celsius. So she's going to be like -30-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because 32 Celsius. So when we have the air conditioner, it goes by Celsius. No, 32 Celsius is 72 degrees, I think, somewhere in there. 72, 76, somewhere in there. So yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah.
We've been frozen over for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Well, we had one day where it warmed up. It got into
the ground did not thaw because we were trying to figure out what we were going to bury if we could bury, and we were like, dog food, because there was just no, which is fine, still everything went back to the farm, so all good.
Randy says he was raised driving in it back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really bother me. No, I ain't worried about my driving. It's all the idiots.
Yes. Yeah.
That was one thing, Arizona, the snowbirds. I hated driving whenever the snowbirds were down there. Of course, that was more of a fact that they were old. And they drove like old people.
They were all right now. What are you talking about?
Hell is a real place in Michigan.
So of course I do, I wish every vehicle had Jesus bars in it when Garen's driving. So it drives him nuts. But so I get it. She'll drive
so close to the vehicle in front of us.
That's not true.
You can't see the license plate.
That is not true.
You do it all the time.
No, I don't. So this is where you're being a real Biden supporter at this point, because you're turning the mirror around and you're blaming me for stuff that you do.
Driving so you can't see the license.
Sometimes you do, and I'm like,
oh wow, this is where the cool. I don't know if that's true.
What was
Brian,
that?
This is where all the cool kids come to hang out.
Yeah. Hey Brian, what's
the
up?
Special ed kids? There's a lot of hockey helmets in this crowd. In Houston, Mayor said no people but essential workers are to work for 2 days because they have no snow plows and salt. Yeah, if you're not ready for it. That's the one thing. I was stationed in Yuma, Arizona. Yuma, Arizona has when I was there were about 15,000 people there. No storm drains. Now, growing up in Kansas City, we had storm drains, and it was always the one down at the bottom of the hill, the street I grew up on, would always flood. Mm-hmm. So the bottom of the hill, there was like 3 or 4 feet of water, and we could go down there and play in it. No storm drains, and we had this rainstorm come through. It was during monsoon season. It rained in 2 hours more than it had in the previous 2 years while we were there. So this water is literally standing all over the place, like 2 feet deep, in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cook Bee Farm. We heat primarily our wood stove too, but the house is a lot bigger. So we do, and especially with everything that's going on with me, I've got a personal electric heater that I use, and then the one of the bathrooms is not in a totally finished area yet, so we have one running in there, and then one for the comfort of our showers and baths. But so there's that, but.
That's why I won't compromise. I hate getting out of the shower and having it being cold.
Yeah, but I want to go back to Skane's comment. They got a statewide, right? So don't get on the roads. Don't do that. They're not playing around, y'all. They don't have the equipment to get those highways cleared. Number one. Number two, they weren't prepared for it, so they don't have the salt. They don't have the chemicals. They don't have any of that. We actually had a situation here during our blizzard. Well, it was right after the blizzard. And a friend of ours, he works for a company, and they said, get your butts into work. You know, if you don't come into work, you're going to get written up. Well, if you got on the road and you were traveling the road, you would get a ticket if it was a non-emergency. Well, here come to find out,
it was the union.
It was the union. And so the corporate had actually said, nobody needs to be on the roads. Statewide emergency, don't do that. And the union was the one saying, everybody get your butts in there. You're going to be, I want to say written up, but I think there's another word for it, to do that. Long story short, nobody did end up getting written up. And I can't remember, very few employees, maybe 20 showed up. And it's a very big tire company. And that's where they make them and manufacture them. So thought that was very interesting. So just knew, especially if there's a state of emergency, police department's telling you to stay off the roads, stay off the damn roads. Doesn't matter what your job says, you'll be protected.
Mm-hmm.
So just stay off the road.
Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
right. It's painful today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. It just hurts.
Let's see what else interesting happened.
Short bus is looking full tonight.
Yep, it is.
Oh my. What is it? This game's girl that is clever and what?
Is he
Stealing
stealing
it? No.
Last year, Randy says, last year the county demolished the road grader by trying to use it to clear the roads here. The blade was up around the cab, and it was in a ditch.
I believe it. And so that's what we had, a lot of road and bridges people that lost their jobs and that kind of thing because they were speaking out. You guys go back, open government. I think that was in October, that meeting, and you can listen to it. And they were wanting them to change out some of their boots and, you know, weather equipment, and that kind of thing. And the guys were telling them, you're setting us up where we could literally die and injure ourselves really, really bad. We're climbing ladders. We're doing all of that. Those boots don't stick. We have zero traction, that kind of thing. And they fired all of them. Anybody that spoke out, they fired.
Yeah,
So,
Gaines, we started put one fan by the back of the house, blowing the cold air from the back of the house in towards the living room. And then I had another fan blowing across the front of the stove and the fan on the back of the stove. And it, up until the last 2 days, it kept it nice and warm in here.
it's when the wind is blowing that I notice the difference.
Yeah.
And then I'm running around the house trying to figure out how to turn the ceiling fans off without using the light. That's actually something we were doing right before we came on here. That's why we were a little bit late.
But it just gets so, and next winter it's not going to be as bad, even if it gets this cold, because we'll have the stove in the back of the house working.
Oh yeah, we get both of those working. Man, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
Yep.
Okay. Need a good, man, you can't go wrong if you get a good wood stove. If you do get a wood stove, make sure you get a zero clearance, because it allows you to put the stove within 12 inches of the wall.
Still need to check with your homeowner's insurance though, because they're going to have to come out and measure. Homeowner's insurance has not caught up with, a lot of them have not caught up with what zero clearance really means. And so I've had this conversation several times over the years. And so now that we'll be looking for.
Well, and there are people that, it's zero clearance, so I could put it right up against the wall. No,
you can't do that, because you've got a blower, you got a fan back behind there. So, which I heard the noise today, and I'll get that dusted off after we get off here, or I'll do it tomorrow, one or the other.
Well, they go bad.
That's not what it is. I guarantee you, I saw the ash and everything flying around and the dust that has been collecting and that kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure, I think we've been burning pretty high, and I think it's been a month since I've dusted back there. Maybe a month and a half.
Jane said you told her about the fans.
Yeah, I did tell her. Yeah, good. That's why she did it. But I wasn't throwing you under the bus. I was letting you take the credits, Gaines.
That, and
but
guys,
thank you.
Put your stove in. Make sure you got a cold air vent coming from the outside to feed it, because that will increase the efficiency of the stove, like by magnitudes.
Yeah. Yep.
So if it self-identifies as zero clearance, even when it, you know what? It can identify it as whatever it wants, but it cannot change reality.
Unless you have a really good insurance agent that can come out and work wonders with a measuring tape and pictures. So I have to see what happens.
Cookbee bought a wood stove from Tractor Supply. I'm running the wood stove as if I have no electricity, just to see if it would do it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So are you cooking on it? Wood cooking.
See, so we don't. I've said it before. We don't turn our furnace on. In fact, I don't even know if it works because I didn't check it this year. So I have no plan on turning it on.
Look at the stupidity. You need to hurt her. Get on to her about that. Try and put a 1,500-pound rocket stove into the tiny house.
What do you plan on? Scanes, you plan on walking around naked during the middle of winter inside your house? Because that's what's going to happen. You're gonna burn yourself out.
Well, and then she's doing water collection. Like, what happens if she needs water fast, right? Not a good idea, Scanes. Not a good idea.
Yeah, you need to.
Outside, maybe, but not inside.
I'll tell you what. Go to Not a Real Farm. They've been doing a bunch of videos about their outside furnace burner water heater. I would love to get one of those.
Yeah,
I would love to have one of those. It'd be awesome.
Well, ideally, I'd like to have a tank hanging off of the wood burning stove in the back of the house. Is that kind of same concept?
No, this is it's like it runs through the ducts, like the HVAC ducts. It runs through there, but it's outside and it burns.
Oh, and it runs through and heats like a geothermal.
Yeah, it's like an outdoor furnace. Cool. But you also run your water line around it, and it heats the water up, so you got hot water.
So, hey, that's clever. Yeah.
Paul Wheaton put one in a mobile home, but they had to reinforce the floor like crazy, and he's crazy anyway. Absolutely, absolutely. Talk about weight. I think our big stove only weighs about 400 pounds, and the one that's going to be in the back of the house, it weighs about 150, 200 pounds.
That's the one that was in the house when it came with the house. Yeah.
I can pick it up.
Ideally, I'd like to eventually replace that one. That'll be once we get the kitchen and everything kind of design that and do all that. I'd like to put a wood cooking stove back there.
Building a brick rocket stove. You know what you could do, Scanes? You could build a thermal bench where it's got a tiny rocket stove and the ducting goes through the bench, and the bench is made out of cob, and it heats up the bench so the bench is warm.
You go ahead and talk to them. I need to stretch a little bit. Yeah.
Solar heater out of cans. Oh, there's so much. There's so much that I want to do. Stuff that I've researched and all that. That just time and money. Yeah, the mass and the rocket mass. Absolutely. Yes, Scanes. Absolutely. Sanford and Son. You become a junk hauler. I got an old water heater out in the outbuilding that I want to turn into a hot water heater for the back of the house. So we'll see. You got one of two ways with the hot water heaters. You're either running glycol through it and then having like a tank with a coil inside of it that the hot glycol tubes run through, or you're actually running it through the heater and you're just letting convection carry the hot water through the system until you turn the tap on. The cob bench will slowly release the heat back in the house. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we act like this is all new stuff. It's new to us. This is stuff that they've been doing for millennia around here. Let's see here. That's the one G, but it's made out of brick instead of cob. Okay. Okay, I get it. Basically, you make a box, put your heat in there, or your piping in there, and then you fill it full of sand, and you put a top on it with the brick. You can build an earthship out of old tires. Absolutely. Go to Billy Bond's channel. He went out, and the guy that actually came up with the Earthship concept back in the 60s, is still it's one of his proteges, is still doing the Earthship thing. And they do classes on it. Billy went out to, I think he was in Arizona last year and helped build one. Very interesting. I've always found those interesting. If you go down in southern Colorado, south of San Luis Valley, and northern New Mexico, up by Taos, they're all over the place. They're fascinating things. The Walpini, made out of tires with a high tone. Yep. Let's see here. Skins is also looking into using tires for a driveway. Well, hey, Skins, whenever you get up here, remind me. I've got PDF files for all the thermal stuff and the rocket mass stuff. I've got it. I'll get you copies, and it's good resource material. Cook V says it's a Grand Teton. I'm gonna look that up. Hang on a second. I want to see what those look like. Grand Teton wood stove. Nice. That's almost what ours looks like. But ours isn't a Grand Teton. I'm not sure which one ours is. The one in the back of the house is called that we're putting in the back of the house is called a U.S. government cast iron wood stove. Yeah, not the best quality. Where you have tires, you're not bringing tires up here, are you, Skeins? I hope you're not bringing tires up here. You can, if you want to do that, you can get tires up here. Don't bring tires up here. You just making more trouble for yourself there, Skeins, if you do that. Cutting tires and using them for shingles. There's an idea. Let's see. Turning Gun says he grew up in the Tetons, not the wood stove. He didn't grow up in the wood stove. He grew up in the mountains. Let's see here. Let's see here. Lucy says, my son works at a scrapyard. I can get us as many as I want. There you go. Is it cold? It's cold enough that Fancy wanted to come in. She was outside. She did not want to come in earlier, but she.
But that's tonight.
No, has she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because she was fighting with the other
That's
dog.
why I took them outside.
It's the other stupid dog. Let's see here. Starla says they use tires to plant intermediate potatoes as they put it at. Hex does that. Hex does his potatoes like that too.
Yeah, they have success with theirs.
I'm
trying to figure out, can I stand? I don't know. I don't. Oh yeah, no, it cuts it off. Talk on it. Okay.
I'm growing potatoes this year. You can't sit down.
It's not. It's up in my upper. It's my shoulders and my neck, babe.
Sit on the edge of the chair. Don't lean back.
On the edge. Okay.
Don't lean back. Sit up straight.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, one of the things too, yeah, so they get really good potatoes and stuff with the tires. You tried that one year, didn't you, in Pleasant Hill? I think you tried doing something like that. Who did that?
No, I tried the buck. I tried the barrel.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking IBC tote. Christy did that.
I have not had any luck with potatoes since we moved out here.
Yeah, no. Maybe we need to go above ground.
My my garden. I'm having a garden this year. I have to.
Yeah. Yep.
Skane says I would have to cut them here to bring them. No way I'm hauling a bunch. Well, thank God.
Yeah.
You hauled so much other crap up here. She got a load of 55-gallon barrels.
Yeah. Are you bringing them with you? Because what you ordered is not here yet. So, like, if you're showing up tomorrow, we're screwed. So, but I'll get with Tony. We've got a community order in, and so it just takes time to get them all. So, Are you trying? Wasn't that at Lowe's? I think it was at Lowe's. Are you looking for that stove?
No, I was looking up. Cuck V said he. Oh yeah, Cuck V said that he
Oh,
had a
we've
Grand
got.
Teton, so I looked up what the Grand Teton stove
Oh yeah,
was.
we got a ton of mineral barrels, but
Yeah, we call those mineral barrels here.
or tubs
Tambra.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, mineral tubs.
But, yeah.
You can grow water. Yeah, we tried. No, we tried. We had decent success with the tires for the zucchini and stuff last year.
Bugs
this year
were
the
my
bugs
problem.
got them.
Yeah, bugs were my problem.
You know, but as we're getting closer and closer to being done with the cleanup part of this, we're getting more and more garden stuff in, and we'll be able to spread it around so that we're not losing everything if this happens.
Yeah. So having the garden in one area just hasn't been working. I tried, I planted some stuff, here, there, that kind of thing. It actually worked out, which is why he's like, okay, we need to move the garden. So the primary garden will be over where the bamboo was. And then we'll do here and there, get the food forest coming along. I think we'll be able to plant some stuff out there and do that kind of thing. So
yeah, Cuck feed people around here using for firewood. You can get about 2/3 a cord in one.
Yeah. Is it only 2/3 a cord? I thought it was a full cord.
No, it's not even close.
Okay.
Not even close to a full cord. Ours out here isn't even a full cord.
Oh, all right. Yep. No, I can see it. Okay, if you're saying that, I see.
It's about a 92% of a cord. The wood cribs that I make.
Okay.
If you guys haven't seen it, all our wood cribs are 4 T-posts driven in the ground, 2 pallets laid down on the ground, and then 2 stood up on the ends of the
and we stack them front to back.
Yeah, and then you can get, if I cut it right, I get three rows of wood on each of it, and I call it a short cord because it's about 92% of a cord.
Starla, we don't cut our IBC totes in half here. That's all water catchment and that kind of thing. And so I could see where that would be ideal, but not for us.
If they weren't so darn costly, I mean, even at $20 a pop, doing that would be. But I could see doing it.
Yeah.
If we
wouldn't it be cheaper just to get a kid pool or something like that? Would that?
No,
last?
you wouldn't. No,
it wouldn't last.
It wouldn't last. What I'm going to do, guys, is they tore out about 20 miles worth of road on the reservation last year, and there's a pile of concrete the size of a large building, like a huge building, over on the reservation. And I talked to the people in Road and Bridge. They're in charge of it, and I was like, "Hey, can I go get some?" They're like, "Sure, go get as much as you want." So when we get a truck, I'm going to start going over there, and that's how I'm going to use that reclaimed concrete for all the raised beds that we're putting in, and all the edging and stuff.
Okay.
That way it doesn't cost me anything but time and a little bit of gas. I can go get as much as I want, and I can build as many as I want. And the concrete and the asphalt works will last for 10, 15 years before it disintegrates.
Okay.
Let's see here. Tambra, I want to make water catchment out. Yep, that's the way to do it. Skeins, we'll wait for the IBC totes there.
Yeah, but before you make the move, let Joe know, and then that way he can plan to go get them. They've got them here when or if they show up the day that you get here or whatever. But that way we can make sure we can still get everything. One of the other things I stumbled across, was it last week? I think it was last week.
There you go.
I stumbled across, what was that?
Lucy says she built her raised beds out of vinyl siding. Works great. That is a good idea.
Yeah.
I made the raised beds out in front of the house out of metal siding. The tin that you put on sheds. I made it out of that, and they're working good.
Yeah, the herbs love them. So
have you priced a kiddie pool lately? What'd you pay for that one for dog?
$20, $25.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she needed it. She was dying. So, but that's one of the bigger ones. The small ones are usually about 10. So I don't know.
I used to be able to buy those for a couple bucks when the kids were small.
No. So, But anyway, so Bunky Life. So I stumbled across that.
Mm-hmm.
Was that last week?
Yeah,
I
last
stumbled
week.
across that. And stumbled across that. And Bunky Life, they do what is it? It's stuck on it, cypress wood. And they put together these tiny houses, and they're just really, really super cool. And
Well, tell them where you first saw him. You met the guy.
Oh yeah, I met him in Kentucky Sustainable Living, and he had built one, and I guess we swapped information, something like that. So it came across my feed, and went in there. They're actually doing a giveaway, and they're giving away, it's like 21,000 some odd dollars, almost 22 grand. And
that's a big one.
Yeah, it's nice. I think I want to say 800 square feet. Not sure, maybe a little bit smaller than that. But they're giving that one away. And so I've put in a ton, sent that over to Skanes. She's got in, I think Lucy did too. My Crooked Little Homestead
She did it last year.
Did you do it last year? Yeah. So I went through, I've done a lot of the extras and that kind of thing. We're putting it in here. I don't get any extra entries for this, but I want y'all, if you can figure it out and do it, where you would put it and that kind of thing, then I think it would be a really great thing for you to even try out and get. We can really see where we can utilize that here. So when we have the kids come in, we don't have to worry about space where, nobody's going to be upset they have to go get a hotel or anything like that. We'll have that. And then, when we have other community members still living out of state, they come in.
Hold on a second.
They've
Yes,
got a place
it
to
is
stay.
it is the company from Canada.
Yes. Yeah. They're from Canada, but they also have a United States company as well. I think it's in, I want to say Michigan. I'm not sure that's right though. Y'all go check it out. They do tours. The main manufacturing company is in Canada. And but Dave and his wife, lovely, lovely people. And the new baby came, so it was sweet to see that. And but yeah, no, they're great. And I've seen them put together. They're so easy. You can do a 2-story one, like what they're giving away. And if you have at least 2 people to build it, you can get it done in 9 hours in one day. Super sweet.
Excuse me. Because she entered this, it's been popping up on our YouTube feed a lot. And they actually did a video of a guy that insulate. You can actually insulate them so that they're good in sub-zero weather.
Yeah. Yep. So super
there you go. Lucy
exciting.
says they're 3 hours away from.
Nice. I would love to go tour the factory. I've seen it online. But I think in person, and well, I've seen the one in person, but he only did, I think we call it like 3/4. I don't call that a 3/4 wall, something like that. And he had that put together like by himself within an hour.
No, he had the kids helping.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, the kids were helping.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as a bunch of little kids can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was fun watching them.
But yeah, great company, and yeah, just really, you guys go check them out. And I was telling them Grumpy Acres Farm sent you. I don't know, they probably don't even know who the hell we are, but you might. So, but yeah, I almost wonder. No, I didn't really talk to him about the affiliate links or anything like that, but it's such good quality. I've seen it in person and been in it. It's such good quality. I would be an affiliate for them.
Yeah, I would get some business.
I wonder, maybe I should talk to them about that. I'll get a hold of them and talk to them about that. I don't know if they're ready to do that.
Let them know that we met them at Kentucky Sustainable, and so we have seen their product.
Yeah. So yeah, but I would love to do that. So I'm hoping to win it. But how awesome would it be if one of our viewers actually won it?
Oh yeah,
that would be great. So super exciting. Yeah. So you guys go.
I'm not gonna. If somebody else wins it, we don't win it, I'm not going to be upset.
No, I mean, I was really I was sharing it with Skanes because I'm like, Skanes, look, if you could get this, how much further ahead is that going to put you? And so she's like, but then if I built it, and I'm like, this is the great thing about it. You get it built and it comes apart just as easy, and we can move it again. Like, this is not an issue. We don't have to worry about trailers and loads and wires.
And for the price of one of these things, I would rather buy one of these Bunky Lives than a pre-manufactured shed.
Yes,
I
agree.
I would much rather do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, there you go. Terminator's going to try to get you out of it. Yeah, she wants to get it so you can't.
So no, I'm okay with that. They could use it too. But if you go in, they've got like little extra things you can do to get extra entries, Lucy. So you may not have to go enter again, just do some of those exercises. And
she hasn't entered this year.
Oh, she hasn't? Oh, go enter. Yeah, go enter. And then now there's a lot of extras. So I have like almost 8,000 entries right now into that. Oh yeah, I know. I'm like totally all over
You
it.
go into Instagram, liking.
Yeah, go on Instagram, go into YouTube.
You're not using my email or the Grumpy Acres email, are
No,
you?
no, it's mine. Yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't want them promoting us, and you know what I mean. So I didn't want that conflict of interest because this is a family thing. It's
Terminator,
a community thing.
if you win that, you're not sending it to anybody. You're gonna set it up on your property and you're gonna utilize it and enjoy it.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Them Canadians, they're just way too nice.
They're sweet, aren't they? That's like Toolman Tim. If you guys ever have a chance to go check out his channel, go do that. Him and his wife. Oh my gosh, him and Becky, they're just so sweet.
I
love them.
There's a TV show called Z Nation. It's like from back in the zombie craze, and there's a story arc where they go to Canada, and the guy runs into these zombies, and he's like, those are the most polite zombies I've ever seen. And then the hockey team zombies attack him.
Oh, don't make me laugh too hard. That's really, oh goodness. Lid processing.
Skane says she had a jar lid pop somewhere last week from the fireplace heat.
Interesting. The game of find and smell.
Where's that ping? Where's that ping?
Man, we get those.
Well, listen, we're running close to an hour and a half. You guys got any last things you want to talk about? Any topics? I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
Not really. I think we pretty much covered everything. And like we said, I mean, things are a little bit Yoda slow, so things are slow.
Heads up. I am on tomorrow night with Zach from Unique Prepping.
Is that tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow at I think it's 8 p.m. Central. Maybe it's 7 p.m. Central. I gotta go. I bet
it's 8.
He hasn't sent the link yet, so I can't tell you.
Gotcha.
But I'm going to be on there, and the topic is going to be lone wolf prepping versus community prepping. And he sent me some questions so I could kind of lay out a game plan on how I was going to respond. And he's got some very, very good questions.
Yeah. Skane says the jar is empty. Then why are you worried about the ping? It's just driving you nuts. If it's just driving you nuts, then, okay, I get it. Look for it. But I wouldn't worry about it.
Take the drinks off your jars after they seal. That way you'll know if the seal is broken. Absolutely.
That's the problem. You'll definitely know. The game of Find That Smell is just so fun.
Can anyone recommend waterproof gloves from Joseph G? Winterproof glove.
No, waterproof winter gloves.
Waterproof winter gloves.
Yeah.
You know what I do? Even when it was cold today, I keep mechanics gloves on hand. And I keep several of them handy.
Are those waterproof?
They're not waterproof, but when they get wet, all you got to do is peel them off, dry your hands, and stick new ones on. If you keep several pair.
You have Joseph's email, right?
Yeah.
Joseph, I'm going to talk to our neighbor. I think Chris actually owns a pair. Well, I don't think. I'm pretty darn sure they are because he wasn't like blowing on his hands and trying to keep them dry when I got stuck on a minimum maintenance road. We don't need to get into that. But he got me out and he was staying pretty dry. So I'll check with him. I think that's what he's using. I don't know that those would be welding gloves. They kind of look like them, but they're really big.
They were probably the gloves he uses for fencing.
I think they were yellow.
No, they were just buckskin gloves then.
So are those can be waterproof?
No, you can treat them, yeah.
So possibly maybe that route, but I will definitely check with Chris
get some good buckskin gloves with a liner, and then treat the leather with waterproof stuff. Yeah, that would work. Scotch guard, not Scotch guard. That wouldn't be powerful enough.
Yeah.
But
Amber had some one time. She lost one.
yeah, you can make the leather waterproof.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah, it's same stuff that you spray on your shoes. So like when you buy a really good pair of hiking boots and that kind of thing, we always treat our boots, and so our boots are waterproof.
Actually, and you really, realistically,
you can do water resistant. Water resistant is going to be cheaper, but you can waterproof.
Well, but you don't want to waterproof them completely because they got to be able to breathe.
Well, there is that, and so, but the hands, I think you could use the waterproof.
Tamara says that they weren't hers weren't leather.
Oh, well, Tamara, if you can figure what that was, what the name of those were, maybe throw them in at some point or send it over in the future. And Joseph's pretty regular on here, so he'll see it at some point.
All right, guys, we've been at this. We've reached the time limit. It's an arbitrary time limit. I'm not going to lie. It's just.
Neoprene. They were neoprene.
Oh, neoprene.
Joseph. Yeah.
But so listen, we really appreciate you guys popping in tonight and joining us. A lot going on in the country right now. You know, you need to keep yourselves. You need to keep yourself safe. You need to keep yourself dry and not dry, warm and dry.
I would want to be dry. I got out of the bathtub today and like to die. So, but yeah. And then make sure tomorrow you're at least 1% better than you were today.
And
go live a life done free.
Oh, hang on a second.
Oh, you're not ready for that yet?
I'm not ready yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's like all kinds of technical back here. He's really grooving on this stuff.
Well, I had a new commercial set up.
Oh, now you can't do it?
But for some reason, whenever you scroll down to the bottom of the video list, it starts glitching out. And so I can't.
You're missing something on there. You just got to figure that out. You had that problem when you did the live with Spags.
Yeah.
And so maybe go in and pre-plan that instead of waiting until before the video.
I didn't get it made until this afternoon.
Gotcha.
So, okay, guys, seriously, go out tomorrow when you go to bed. When you go to bed, be better off than you were when you woke up, and go live a lifetime free.
Do you ever think about living in a world where we don't have access to modern medicine anymore?
Infections just aren't going to heal themselves. They're just not going to magically get fixed.
These medications will become life-saving for you and the people you care about. And it's all done online through the Jase Medical portal.
This kit right here, it's called the Jase case.
Jase Medical, they can supply you with emergency antibiotics.
And if somebody gets really sick, that might be the only thing that can save their life.
And it's full of the top 5 antibiotics that we would need in an emergency situation.
It's an actual doctor that's prescribing you to this. It can be tailored for you specifically.
Getting our Jase case was super simple. We just went on their website, filled out a short form. It was reviewed by a board-certified physician, and then he wrote the prescription and mailed this to us from a real pharmacy.
This is a great addition to your medical kit.
And it's